Today we're putting pink insulation board from Home Depot, polypropylene insulation board, and standard styrofoam to the test to see if it will hold up against Fiberlay polyester fiberglass resin. The trick, latex paint. Does it even work? And how much do you need to create enough of a barrier to deflect the heat of the fiberglass resin? That is the purpose of this video. Let's see what happens. Today is experiment day. The plan today is to find out for myself, pink board versus styrofoam board, both getting polyester resin. I kind of divided these up and labeled them to see what kind of reaction, if any, they get of whenever I put the resin on. So I have a couple of different scenarios for this foam board. I have in the middle, we have the raw pink styrofoam insulation board, like this be found at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. I have, on this one, I have one coat of interior latex. This column is 2 coats of interior latex, 1 coat of exterior latex, and then over at the styrofoam we have 2 coats of interior, 1 coat of interior, bare styrofoam board, 1 coat of exterior latex. The reason for polyester resin over your AB epoxy resin is cost. You can fiberglass resin over foam using AB epoxy resin. The problem is it's 2 to 3 times more expensive than polyester resin. Polyester is the way everybody's going with boats nowadays. I just restored my own boat, put a new floor in, gel coated, everything is polyester. So I want to use polyester to keep my costs down. So the plan here is to take my polyester resin. So we are going to pour the catalyst in, mix her up until she turns red. The dyed catalyst basically lets you know when you put the catalyst into the epoxy and you mix it up and it turns red, that means it's thoroughly mixed. Just paint it on. We're going to the pink board, putting it on fairly thick to kind of emulate a sheet of fiberglass being on it. Experiment number 2 on the foam board. Already you can see that the polyester is wasting no time. The polyester resin has gotten into the air pockets and eating it out from the inside of the air pockets. It just destroyed the styrofoam with nothing on it. Exterior latex is holding up okay, and 2 coats of interior latex seems to be holding up okay. Everything seems to be holding up pretty good, except for the raw foam board is looking pretty eaten away. Latex is holding up and the exterior latex is holding up good on the pink board. We'll give it a while and let it cure out and come back and check it out.
1 hour later.
So the epoxy is hardened up on both panels. Let's see what happened. Now let's see, for the styrofoam panel. Looks pretty bad. 2 coats of interior latex, looks like it fared the best. One coat was annihilated. The bear was obviously annihilated. See right through it. And the one coat of exterior latex was equally annihilated. Pink foam board. Pink foam board did a little bit better. One coat of exterior latex stayed together but made a huge indentation. Probably shrank maybe 3/16 of an inch into the board. The bare pink foam board was annihilated, went all the way through. The one coat of interior latex fared about the same, pretty much identical as the exterior latex, so it doesn't, interior and exterior latex, it doesn't matter which you use, they're both equally as ineffective. So one coat of interior latex dented in about 3/16 of an inch. Two coats of interior latex went in about 1/8 of an inch. So it did shrink. The polyester resin wasn't able to get into the air pockets and eat it out from the inside. So 2 coats looks like we're on the right track anyway. I'm thinking maybe I try 4 or 5 coats on a piece of pink board, let that set up, and try it again.
Eventually.
I've put roughly 5 coats of interior latex paint on both panels. Now I'm going to mix up some more polyester resin. I'm going to lay a piece of standard chop strand fiberglass on both pieces at the end, and then I'm going to put some resin just by itself on the panels. So this is probably a little bit more of a realistic scenario. I've got around 5 layers of interior latex wall paint on this pink styrofoam panel. I have just put your standard chop strand fiberglass with polyester fiberlay resin. So far, so good. To my surprise, the standard styrofoam is holding up rather well so far also. So far so good. I'm feeling a little more optimistic now. One thing that I do want to note is polyurethane deck paint, like your Rust-Oleum top paint for boats, will not work. I've already tried it on the big boat when I did the floor restore in the gunnels. If you put gel coat or any kind of polyester on polyurethane top paint, it will bubble. It will just go to shit. So polyurethane deck paint, definitely not going to work. I know that already from restoring my boat floor. This, on the other hand, feeling pretty good about.
1 hour later.
Here's a quick recap. 1 to 2 layers of latex paint. It doesn't matter if it's interior or exterior. 1 to 2 layers isn't gonna cut it. Now, 5 layers of interior latex paint. 4 to 5 coats of interior latex paint created enough barrier to deflect the heat of the chemical reaction of the polyester epoxy. Standard chop strand fiberglass didn't sink in, didn't do anything. It pretty much did exactly what I needed it to do. So, pink foam board, 5 coats of standard house paint, latex house paint, interior or exterior, doesn't matter as long as it's latex. You got it. Now here's something that's a little more interesting. Standard styrofoam. 5 coats of latex house paint created enough of a barrier to deflect the heat of the chemical reaction to where it would not eat through standard styrofoam. So there you have it. Latex paint does work, and it's a cheap way to coat your foam before you do your fiberglassing. But just make sure you got enough coats on. I'm feeling way better about this project at this point. If you have any questions, comment below. If I don't know the answer and I can't answer your questions, I can research it. I do have friends that are in the business, in the trade, but I like it.